We all know that Universes Beyond is going to become more and more common in Magic the Gathering. Heck, half of Magic the Gathering in 2025 is slated to be Universes Beyond. And with the change for Universes Beyond product to be flowing through the regular Magic ecosystem as any standard set would, there have been, well, let's just call it concerns. But for these reasons, for these fears we have about half of Magic being UB and these new design principles, I believe it should tell us that Foundations is an even better product than we expect. Living in the Magic universe that we live in now is going to be different for a lot of us, but that means we're going to have to hold on to the things that are near and dear to our heart, and in my opinions, Foundations has more of that than we could have possibly imagined. Foundations pre-release is here, it's upon us. Actually, it's right now, today, as of the recording of this video, and I wanted to take some time and talk about Foundation sales data. People who have been around the channel for some time, hey, how are you? And if you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below because we're like almost at 10K. I never thought we'd be there, and every click of that button helps me more than you could possibly imagine, because that's what we do here. We talk about sales data, we talk about interesting numbers and how the community is spending their money, but most importantly, we talk about the success, failure, and how we feel about Magic the Gathering sets. And as someone who is high on Foundations, very excited about a new on-ramp, a new way to introduce your friends, family, and loved ones to my favorite card game, I would have never expected these massive Universes Beyond announcements to make me love Foundations more and more. So join me today on a rant and a rabble about Foundations and why it's going to be important for Magic the Gathering's future. And it really starts with that design principle. The idea that Magic the Gathering sets are being designed to flow through the standard pipeline, if you will, is, well, it's a massive win. I really like that decision. I believe that Magic was at its best when we didn't have sets that were printed straight to formats or straight to this or straight to that. We just had Magic the Gathering set releases and they flowed through an ecosystem. It helped more adequately assign value to cards because cards had time to gain value. There wasn't necessarily force-implied chase and force-implied play to a given card. We see Commander sets and Commander subsets come out where, well, you get a card that, hey, if you play white in Commander, you better play this card right now. If you play green, red, the same thing happens over and over again. With the sets flowing through the regular design pattern, I'm not saying we won't see that any longer, but it does offer an opportunity for cards to become a little more connected with one another, connected to us, and then have a full-fledged value life cycle in that ecosystem, both in monetary value and in play. I'm actually all for this. Now, I would be super all for it and championing this from the top of the hill as something that no one is really talking about. It's about the flow of sets in 2025. I don't know why anyone's talking about that. I think that's the biggest news. I would be all for it if it wasn't for the Universes Within announcement. Let's call it the Universes Within announcement. The idea that Universes Beyond is coming to Magic the Gathering in this standard flow. And I reject the reality, I'll do this very quickly, but I reject the reality that everyone told me standard was dead and doesn't exist, and now Universes Beyond is ruining standard. I reject that reality. I don't think that's a thing. I can't possibly fathom, like, yes, if you are one of those people that enjoy standard and then hate Universes Beyond and now you have to deal with it, I empathize with that. I wish it wasn't the case. I don't want Universes Beyond to be in a normal flow of Magic the Gathering, but we all have to look in the mirror and admit standard hasn't been in the best spot. But I digress. With half of Magic the Gathering being Universes Beyond, real, and I say real, but traditional Magic the Gathering sets are getting fewer and further between. And more often than not, the traditional Magic the Gathering sets we're getting are things like Outlaws of Thunder Junction, and I have Bloomborough down here somewhere, right? They're these themed products. Karlov Manor, well, Karlov Manor doesn't get a spot on one of the shelves, but it's these themed products that feel less like a full-fledged Magic story, but more Magic dropped in a, you know, for lack of a better phrase, universe within, or a different storyline or a small timeline. It's like micro blocks, micro storytelling, short stories using characters of Magic the Gathering. And this brings me to why I think Foundations is so important, is we have fallen in love, I'm going to point at the Outlaws of Thunder Junction again, so much with Magic, like, as it was, as we know it, that even that digression, even that, like, hey, magic but cowboy hats, magic but detective hats, magic but furry creatures, like, that has seemed more like home to us than anything Universes Beyond. And for Magic the Gathering Foundations, it truly, in my opinion, represents Magic at its most magical. That is the most Magic the Gathering that Magic the Gathering can Magic the Gathering if Magic the Gathering were to Magic the Gathering. I really hope you followed along with that. If you didn't, let me know in the comment section below, and I promise to never try it again. Okay, that's a lie. I probably will. But I really do believe that a set like this is something that we are going to hold near and dear to our heart, and the price of Foundations right now would reflect that. Remember, this is a product that's going to be on the shelves for years. It's a 5-year life cycle, and that doesn't necessarily mean it'll be readily printed for 5 years, but you should be able to get your hands on it for the majority of the next 5 years. Talking about the Play Booster Box, of course. Collector, it's a different discussion for the end of this video. But the Play Booster Box is something that if, you put a gun to my head and said, you have to guess the price right now, a week and a half ago, I would have said it does not release at $133.75 on TCG Player. I said there's no way it's going to drop before then, but due to under-ordering and the popularity of the product, yeah, that's right. No matter how much you dislike it, however you feel about it, the product is popular, it is stable. And we are in an era, we're in a small period of time right now before the Universes Within where I want us to all just appreciate this. I know this might be too much positivity for the internet, but the idea that we're going to go out to a pre-release tonight and go out to, events over the next month or so, and we are going to play Magic at its most magical. We are going to play Llanowar Elves and ramp for mana. We are going to counterspell with Strictly Better Cancel. We are going to do all of the Magic the Gathering things we have just known and loved before we start to enter the ups, downs, and bumpy roads of Universes Beyond in regular Magic the Gathering standard normal sets, right? And again, I don't think that's going to be that bad. I will go out and say, while it's not for me personally, you can let me know if it's for you in the comment section below, but for me personally, it's not something I enjoy, it's something I understand, and it's something that's not going to ruin Magic for me. Heck, the beautiful thing about Magic the Gathering for me personally is the game. I love to play the game, the interaction. I rarely, and I say this, and I know that most people don't feel this way, but I rarely care what the name of the card is, but more how it functions and interacts with my opponent, and not even at a hyper competitive level, but just like at a, ooh, this seems really fun to do level. There's a Tenacious Greed, I think, it's a 3-mana instant, Orzhov instant from Karlov Manor. That's a sack a creature that dealt damage, drain 3 and draw 3. It's like the worst card ever, but I love that card because it's just so much fun. It's a digression, but those are the things I love about Magic the Gathering. And to me, this Universes Within thing is not what I would have picked, but I get it and I understand it, and it's making me appreciate these, more traditional Magic the Gathering sets more and more. And going into 2025, that's what I plan to do. Now, the Collector Booster Box situation in 2025 is a toss-up. The Collector Booster Box of Foundations is approaching $300. I never thought that I would be here. I had some for sale for supporters of the channel. If you're a channel member, you can still DM me and get a price. The public price is no longer the price. Like I put that on a risk. I can't keep that low. I had that up for as long as possible, so you can join the Discord and inquire about the price. If you are a channel member, you do get special pricing. It will be significantly lower than market, as it always is for channel members, so let me know if you're interested in some of that. But man, this collector box situation is just going to be a wild ride. I would have never expected them to correct so hard on the collector box printing, and I expect if that continues with Universes Beyond in normal Magic, Universes Beyond Within, I haven't decided what to call it yet, but if that were to continue, those collector boxes could hold some serious premiums. Trying to picture like a Spider-Man collector box where the collector product is printed and managed properly almost completely blows my mind. But I really do think that these are things we can enjoy. The Magic the Gathering art, the Magic the Gathering characters, the Magic the Gathering world, and this traditional Magic. I think it's something that we are going to learn to appreciate more and more, and we are going to look back on Foundations extremely fondly for this reason. But I want to know, do you think Foundations is a good release? Do you think Foundations is going to continue to be successful? Is it all just a scam? Is Universes Beyond killing everything? And did Wizards of the Coast literally come into your house and kick you in the shins? Feel free to let me know in the comments section below. And hey, YouTube's going to suggest you a video on this side. If you think about it, make sure to click that video because it helps my channel out a ton. Until next time, you guys know me. My name is Josh, and if you watch this video after we've reached 10K, I never thought we'd be here. Thank you so much. We'll see you around. Goodbye.